What do I like about not drinking now that I've got way past that 6 month mark? It's genuine. Like, it's a genuine life. You don't live in fear anymore. You don't wake up in fear every day, wondering how you got to the couch and checking your phone and seeing where your spouse or significant other's at and what did you say? What did you do? Who do you talk to? You go to work and you walk on eggshells and people call your name and you flinch, like what? You always feel like you're doing something wrong, and it's only a matter of time before your name gets called, and that's gone. That's it's a genuine. Everything I do now is above board, right? All I have to do is not drink. Like if I wake up on the couch today, it's just because I fell asleep on the couch. Like that's it. There's no explanation. I don't wake up and have to figure out how I got there. I just wake up, realize it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I fell asleep watching a movie with my wife and get up and go get in bed. That's it, you know? And I wouldn't trade that for anything. The other thing that's great is mental clarity. Oh man. And I learned this in recovery that it takes your brain 6 months to recover. So it makes sense why that 6 month mark, everything kind of just clicked and became more peaceful. But that mental clarity was insane. I mean, I crushed college and finished my bachelor's degree with a 3.94 GPA. And it's not because I'm a great, incredibly smart student. It's just because college isn't that hard. Just show up, do the work, and you're probably going to get 100 on everything until you get to the end and you got to write your paper, do your test. And, if you at least try and paid attention during class, you'll probably get a 90 or above, right? So it's not hard. And when you have this incredible mental clarity, I could write a 10-page paper in an hour or two and get 100 on it. I wouldn't trade that mental clarity for anything. Um, and one of the biggest, greatest things about not drinking is you're a part of the solution. You get to show up in a meaningful way to to my niece's lacrosse game, to my nephew's baseball game, to Dakota's ballet recital, to DJ's track and field day he had at school, um, and my niece's graduation in Texas. You get to be there and you're not a liability. Nobody's worried. Like, oh man, wonder what he's got in his water bottle, Remember the wedding, right? Like that's gone. Like you're just there and you're sober and you're watching your niece or your nephew or your kids. You're having this incredible moment that you actually can appreciate, and you're not just sitting there thinking about how you're going to get out of the ballet to go to the bathroom, to stop by the concession stand to get a double shot of wine because that's all they have, and then take that and then go back inside and then do it again 20 minutes later. Like all that's gone, and it's awesome. It's just hard to imagine another life when you're stuck, when you're that frog stuck in the pot and you can't see any other way out. You've been doing it for so long that this is just your life and you can't imagine doing anything else, but you want to quit. You know that you're done. You can't. Every morning you're committed to quitting, and by the time you get home it's all over again and you feel like you're stuck and you're in a rut. You're never going to get out. But what I can tell you is that like you're not the only one. There's millions of people out there struggling with alcohol, and especially in the special operations community, there's tons of people, and they wallow in their own shit. They don't talk about it with their buddies, and they just drink at home alone. You know, it's awful that we end up living that way, but that's what happens to the senior guys, the guys that spend 20 plus years. Is when you're young, you can devote yourself to the cause, and all you care about is the Navy and drinking, right? But as time goes on, most guys, they meet somebody, they get a spouse or a girlfriend, they might have kids, a dog, buy a house, a boat, and their life changes, their responsibilities change, and but their behavior has not. Their behavior has just gone into hiding because they're still drinking like they were before. They're just hiding a lot of it because their wife's like, this isn't cool. Like, why are you getting drunk 7 days a week? Like, who does that? And for us, we're like, everybody in at my job. Like everybody in the military gets drunk 7 days a week. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people culturally, it's kind of a thing to do. So it's hard to imagine a life without it, but I can tell you that there is another way. I've walked it myself. It was not easy. It absolutely sucked. I'd go back to SEER school 5 times in a row before I'd go back and redo my first 6 months of not drinking, but it was worth every brutal, excruciating minute that I spent in that 6 months until I got onto the other side of the forest. And you can do it too. And there's people that can help, and we will absolutely help.